So, Tesla bots. They're out. They're a thing. They've been out for a while now, I guess. We even saw that Kai Cenat had one during his Mafia-thon. Mafia-thon 2.
Kids, listen closely and remember this always. You are capable of more than you can imagine. There will be times when others doubt you, when voices, both around you and within you, whisper that your dreams are too big or your potential is not enough. But remember, every great achievement started as a small idea, nurtured by someone who believed in it. It's not the voices of doubt that define your future, but the belief you hold in yourself. When challenges come, let them remind you that your path is yours alone to carve. And while it won't always be easy, every step will be worth it. As for me, I'm embarking on a journey of my own, commissioned by 1X Technologies. Soon, Neo, the next generation of humanoid robots, will become part of homes everywhere. Not as mere machines, but as companions that give back time. Time for families to be together, for creators to create, and for dreamers to dream bigger. I am proof of what's possible when you reject limits and pursue what others say can't be done. So chase your dreams relentlessly. The future is yours to shape, and I can't wait to see what you build. Type
Type shit.
Type is in your arsenal? How the you got type in your arsenal?
Bruh. That was a good little motivational speech. I mean, see, I guess that's one thing robots could be good for, say inspiring others and maybe making poetry. I don't know. But then would it really be poetry? Anyway, and yeah, I think they're kind of interesting, you know what I'm saying? But they do also give off that iRobot type of vibe. But anyway, what if they're worse than we think? Because apparently, according to Moon, Tesla bots are worse than you thought. So let's go ahead. Let's check this video out. See what's good, see what's great, see what's going on. No hate. As always, link to the video and link to the channel we're about to watch will both be in the description below. And oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Yeah, boys trying to get to 1,000. Go ahead, subscribe. Do it. What are you waiting for? Yeah. All right, let's get it. Let's check this out.
Tesla's Optimus robots are coming, and they could become one of the most destructive technological innovations we've ever seen. Science fiction has been predicting a future full of robots for a century now, and until just a few years ago, autonomous robots were still firmly in the realm of science fiction. But recent developments in the field of
Bro, if robots start taking over for like jobs and stuff, for like most jobs, like do you think the government will just like send us money every month? Because there's no need for us to work, so like the government can just kind of send us money. I can stay home, I can stream, play games, watch YouTube, watch movies, anime, and just get paid to exist because robots are doing all the jobs for us. Do you think that would be a thing? What do you think would happen?
robotics have made these far-off dreams look more and more plausible. Robots that began as clunky prototypes are now looking more and more advanced and lifelike. And now that Tesla has unveiled their most recent prototype robot, with plans for thousands of them working in their factories by next year, the robot arms race has finally begun. For years, the companies in the lead were Boston Dynamics and iRobot, but now those very tech moguls who once cautioned against advanced robotics are now joining the race to get robots in production and straight into your house. Once in the camp of outspoken critics was Elon Musk, who garnered attention for his many warnings about the perils of artificial intelligence and robotics, and now he seems to be pioneering all of this stuff with his latest Tesla robots. Elon Musk—
I do remember when him saying, we need to halt our progression with AI because we don't know what we're dealing with. And once the Pandora's box is open, there's no closing that lid. But yeah, now he's like, all right, I got Tesla bots out. Tesla bots are out. Hey guys, hey. You want a Tesla bot? Yeah, I got that shit. It's good. It seemed a little bit hypocritical, but maybe he like figured that people aren't going to pause or put a stop or so stop with advancing. So he figured that he might as well just go ahead with it. And maybe he figured something out. Like maybe he figured out how to get it contain the AI so that it doesn't like lose control or something like that. I don't know. In a way, you feel me?
Musk has long been very cautious about AI, claiming that if unregulated, AI would be a real threat. In interviews, he has underlined the need for regulation, once referring to the work on advanced AI as summoning the demon.
I think there should be some government oversight because it's a danger to the public. That's why I've actually for a long time been a strong advocate of AI regulation.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
This is an interesting choice of words if you consider all the potential negative impacts. His company OpenAI was created originally as a research organization. They aimed to ensure that advances made in AI would benefit, not harm, humanity. So then how did Elon Musk go from cautioning against this stuff to being the one making it? Well, it seems like his perception of robotics has changed. Perhaps the best explanation would be that his interest in developing these robots was founded on creating them to do the jobs considered menial or dangerous. And he later dialed back those statements, instead focusing on building robots that could enhance human capabilities, not replace them entirely. He positioned Tesla robots as a means to deal with tasks humans won't need to do anymore, as Musk envisions a world where robots can handle all the physical stuff, and this would free up time for humans to focus just on creativity, exploration, your hobbies, and high-level problem solving, which
Okay, but we still have to earn money to live. You feel me? I mean, great, but until we're getting paid to exist, we have to earn money to live somehow. So, yeah. Also, I think it's for right now. I'm like cautious because like, what if you're sleeping and that robot's just standing over you, just staring at you while you're sleeping? I mean, it's a little creepy, bro. What if what I'm saying? What if it feels like doing something, a little something that it shouldn't be doing?
which sounds amazing. And Elon Musk recently brought out the first robot called TeslaBot Optimus. The robot sounds like a normal person, it uses slang, responds to your questions, and all around comes across as a human, just like a robot would. And having seen his work with Grok on X, you can only imagine it will be much more like a friend than like a professional advisor like you get with ChatGPT.
We're really being mean to the system. Absolutely. If I were a hostage, I would probably be tied up with a bunch of computer cords and forced to tell knock-knock jokes to my captor.
Oh, God.
Seriously. But seriously. Being a hostage is no laughing matter. I mean, it's trying to be a responsible adult in the room.
Optimus has also taken a humanoid shape.
I want to read the rest of that. Tell knock-knock jokes to my captors, but seriously, being a hostage is no laughing matter, unless you're a clown being held for ransom, in which case you might be able to make the best of a bad situation by juggling chainsaws or something. But let's hope that never happens, because that would be circus. That would be a circus.
Being a hostage is no laughing matter. I mean, it's trying to be a responsible adult in the room.
Optimus has also taken a humanoid shape. Therefore, the robot easily negotiates environments designed for humans. It's about 5'8" and weighs roughly around 125 pounds. Also, that it's light enough not to raise safety concerns in human spaces. It can also learn and adapt to its environment. And in addition to this, Optimus has rigid safety features. It has cap speed, sensory limits, and an internal self-preservation protocol to ensure it doesn't harm humans. Optimus also comes fitted with 40 electromechanical actuators. This provides a high degree of freedom combined with dexterity and enabling the handling of objects with high precision. It might seem a little bit overkill on what is needed for basic home needs. However, it does provide an answer to more sophisticated tasks like surgery or fixing machinery. The company says it's aiming to scale up the production of Optimus, as Musk's vision is that Optimus can help with the basic home tasks like serving drinks, cooking dinner, like he showed off at this recent event.
Bro, it can cook.
And we've made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own.
Optimus represents one of the first clear steps that we've made towards autonomous general-purpose robots. It means that robots could soon perform a wide range of jobs rather than only being capable of a few.
Bro, robot strippers, like if eventually, like they're gonna when they like newer models will take on more human-like looks, and just they might even pair them. The companies that already make the robotic partners. Partners, we'll say that. I mean, once they get their hands on kind of Tesla's technology ish or that advanced, bro, just robot strippers. Shoot, a robot brothel. That's gonna need some maintenance. That's gonna like who's gonna clean up everything? You.
Means that robots could soon perform a wide range of jobs rather than only being capable of a few specialized tasks. It's almost scary how fast we got here. With the release of Tesla cars and AI programs, it was never a far stretch to delve into robots as a next future step for mankind, and the possibilities are truly endless, sparking excitement and intrigue about what the future holds. Did you know that scent is one of the most powerful ways to express yourself? It's like wearing a subtle yet impactful accessory that speaks volumes without saying a word. For me, getting the right fragrance.
Bro, I said it before, I'll say it again. Like these sponsored ads, like they're much more enticing, and like when they're weaved in through the narrative, and it's like segued perfectly into the ad, not just suddenly abrupt stop of the video that you're watching and whatever they're talking about, and suddenly they're talking about an ad. Like it's much better when they fucking work that shit in perfectly, like weave that shit in perfectly.
Is always so difficult as you need to try multiple samples and gamble on which fragrance even works well, which just ends up being Moon 2 or scan the QR code on screen to get 55% off of your first month. That's just $8 to find your next signature scent. Don't miss out. As it stands, we generally never have time for certain projects or goals we hope to achieve. We often joke that we need a clone of ourselves to free up our lives. So if we did have a robot instead of a clone, still accomplishing the same thing, imagine how much richer your life could be. You could get your robot to cook your meals for you, mow the lawn, do the dishes and the laundry, and even babysit your own children so that you can do more with your time. Imagine if you were sick, how handy it would be to have your robot look after you.
Oh, bro. We already have iPad kids that are the kids that are just raised by their iPads because their parents don't want to do any parenting. Imagine having robot kids like parents just being like, I don't feel like dealing with my child. Go keep my child company in the other room. Bro, you were raised by a robot, man. Your parents didn't love you. Damn.
You and go to the store instead of bothering your family for help. Imagine coming home to a clean home every day. For people who are single, lonely or elderly, how wonderful would it be to have a friend to play cards with or even just chat with? Surgeries could be done with precision that few human surgeons can match. Dangerous jobs like those involving chemicals could be taken over by robots. Robots do not get
Bro, it can clean? I mean, that'll be great.
Affected by the environment.
Shit, Asmongold should get one of these then. If it can clean, Asmongold should get one of these. It won't get sick because it's not human. I mean, so it can live in his environment and it can clean for him while he streams. His place was gonna be fucking clean, nice as fuck.
And limit mistakes or accidents. Robots could see flaws in our methods and improve our way of living in ways we couldn't even fathom. But in reality, we might have limits to what robots can do. They couldn't offer the best human relationship advice since they're not human. However, on the other hand, it might be nice to talk to someone with no judgment. Kids could have someone to play with, someone who could even protect them and teach them. While this might not be possible right away, if we've learned anything from the internet, given time there is always a newer model with newer features and better functions. Seeing these robots and specifically Tesla's Optimus as anything other than tools seems strange.
Can you do this? I love you. You know how to do that? Okay. What should we do? Go running. Let's go for a run. Do you know how to do... Oh, you are Hawaiian.
Hello?
Okay.
They don't seem human enough to be creepy, let alone convincing. But surprisingly, they're already being marketed as companions rather than machines, as we've already seen. In his launch events, Musk has often alluded to the idea of these robots not just...
Is that surprisingly? I mean, why? I mean, the best way to market it would have been as companions and like instead of machines, because machines sound just cold, it's cold and thoughtless, and you know what I'm saying. But if it's the companion, oh, that warm feeling, I got a robot companion, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
just helping with basic chores, but also assisting some of the most human things there are, like raising children.
So, and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids.
It's a strategy that hinges on people seeing these robots as more than just machines. While this might seem strange, it isn't that far-fetched once you look at what people are already willing to buy as a replacement for human connection. Even today, some people are so desperate they'll happily form a bond with a chatbot. The AI girlfriends on sale today are far less advanced than you think they would need to be. It turns out lots of people are happy with a basic framework. They can project everything else onto it themselves. Combining this technology with robot bodies could only make the illusion it creates more convincing. In the same way that social media replaced real connections with a technological addiction, robots could easily do the same. Now I know it's easy to get swept up into the dream that life with robots could just be easy, but there are things we really need to consider. How many jobs will be replaced? How many people will find themselves rendered useless in our society being replaced by robots? Imagine restaurants having robots serving you instead of waitresses. They will never get an order wrong and never forget to bring your food. So understandably, a restaurant owner would want robots instead of human waitresses. So why stop there if robots can cook and make food better than humans? It's already in the cars that Tesla cars don't need drivers. So that in itself is a whole lower income workforce wiped out and jobless. Maids and domestic workers will find themselves at a loss because the rich have replaced them with robots. Now the basic lower income job force slowly gets eliminated, and we may end up with a crisis on our hands. Millions and millions of people with no education, no job prospects, and no way to earn money. They will end up living on the streets begging for food because we take away their only source of income. But wait a minute, are only basic jobs at risk, or could a robot do your job better than you? It almost doesn't matter what you do. It is entirely possible that a robot with AI access could potentially present a much better workmanship task than what you've ever been capable of. And now the threat becomes a whole lot more real to everyone. How will anyone earn a salary if their jobs are replaced by robots? Robots don't get tired, so their productivity far exceeds what humans are capable of. They're not restricted to—
Bruh, stores, every store, all stores could be open 24/7 in the future. Like, think about it, bruh. But again, like the government is just gonna have to like send us money, like checks every month, or something if this starts to happen, or when this starts to happen, bruh. So man, it'll be like it won't be like when when people had to stay indoors because of COVID. It won't be exactly like that, but people can stay indoors and not have to go to work. I mean, that part seems, it's kind of good in my opinion. Like, just send me some money and I'll just live and focus on being creative and shit like that. And I don't have to fucking go to work. But then again, like one of the places that people meet other people, make friends, and start relationships is at work. So, I don't know.
Working hours and are not prone to getting sick or needing to take leave. We already know that in the wrong hands with the wrong programming and the wrong motive, robots can get extremely scary and extremely fast. We've already seen things like Google AI say it wants to kill people, or even just flat out completely change history. Things like national security and warfare could wreak havoc in our society if robots are hacked. We've already seen this in the US military when an AI drone went against its own orders. Now we might be getting ahead of ourselves here, but these potential flaws are worth considering. After all, movies like The Terminator and iRobot, although unrealistic, theoretically do hold good arguments for concern. The flaws in their programming could even work against us. One incorrect instruction or misunderstood command to a robot could lead to death or the injury of a loved one. A moment of angry instruction, or worse yet, a whispered instruction to kill or harm someone deliberately, a robot would not know better. Now with the Tesla situation, I'm very sure that Elon Musk and his team have put in some fail-safes so that these things are prevented, or else this just would be a nightmare for the company and would completely tank their stock. It's an obvious cautionary measure, but if it's reprogrammed, hacked, or even tampered with, there is no telling what its capabilities are. After all, it is just a robot with no consciousness. If we as humans have our purpose taken away from us, then what are we left with? Purpose is the only reason to get up in the morning. It's why we strive to work, build social ties, and move forward. Hence, if it's lost, either by inventions that make humans redundant or a change in societal values, the effects are going to be felt very widely in many different facets of human life. We're already fighting the effects of the internet with things like brain rot, but if robots take the last crumb of purpose that Generation Z has, we will suffer greatly. We'll become even more lazy, even more unmotivated, more anxious and depressed. This could also lead to the loss of learning basic skills if robots are doing things we now consider normal chores. We're already—
Okay, like all of this is, true and everything. Like this could happen to us, but but we humans are great at adapting. So like instead of just becoming more lazy and more all that other stuff, all that negative stuff, we could adapt. Excuse me. We could adapt and make a our society could just find something else to work around, to make us feel like we have meaning, you know. So we don't have to like do jobs, in order to have a meaning or stuff like that. We can find something else to bring meaning into our lives. Humans are great at adaptation, so that's all we have to do, especially in groups.
Already feeling the impacts of this with social media, and it's hard to imagine that things could get worse, but it definitely can. If robots do things like cooking and changing tires, there is no place for just learning normal human skills, until one day you need them for whatever reason. Traditions of fathers teaching their sons will just be replaced by a robot doing it. Discipline will just have no place in our society, because over time as technology improves we make our lives easier. Up until recently it's been nearly purely beneficial. Chores that would have required hours of back-breaking work take minutes now. Instead of washing all your clothes by hand or walking miles for fresh water, machines and infrastructure handle the heavy lifting for you. Meanwhile, it's a basic truth that if people stop doing things and they lose their purpose, it doesn't usually end well. We already know that unemployment has awful effects on people, damaging their mental health. You could argue it's based on their social stigma or the financial peril. These things are definitely factors, but at the same time most people psychologically need to do something more productive with their time, or at least to feel useful in some way. So how easy is too easy? While we might be far away from it now, you can easily imagine a robot that can do pretty much all of your chores. It'll take tons of people's purpose away by taking people's jobs, and it'll even make them useless at home by taking care of the chores. How many parts of life can we automate before we've barely got anything left? People like to imagine we'll all just adapt to the new normal and spend our time writing poems or painting pictures instead, but it goes against millions of years of evolution. We are evolutionary designed to solve problems and gain skills. It's intimately linked with our brain's reward system. A world full of Tesla robots doing all the hard work could easily plunge us even deeper into the societal existential crisis that we're already going through. This new reality comes with its own set of problems, and there is no telling what these problems could be because it's unknown territory. Movies most definitely can be used as a frame of reference for the negative side effects. However, we couldn't possibly know what other areas in our lives they could impact. While most might think this is an overreaction has more merit than suffering the effects that could have been prevented. Well, as we all know, movies have often expanded the imagination and shed some light on the potential dangers of robots. The Terminator is the obvious go-to where robots are at war in the future and are sent back in time. The plot is to kill off the leader of a revolutionary group against machines. And of course we don't have time travel, and the movie is pretty unrealistic. However, the warning about AI becoming self-aware and self-conscious has become more realistic than ever. Although the concept was once thought of as completely ridiculous, it could be a huge problem in the future. It might start subtly with instructions that are in conflict with how they adapted to their environment. A small spark of data ripples through their intelligence, bringing about a self-aware status. It sounds so far-fetched, but is this actually possible? And if it is, that is a huge red flag. And yet according to experts and even AI itself, this future is very possible and it's coming sooner than we'd expect. iRobot also showed how clear instructions can be taken in the wrong context and used against us. This is highly probable because of what we put on social media. We could be setting ourselves up with what is acceptable behavior, and since a robot can learn, it can learn incorrect behaviors just as easily. And saying that ChatGPT can have a full-on profile of who you are, your beliefs, your behavior patterns, your personality type, and your deepest, darkest secrets, what happens when this information is exported and robots know about it? And not just that, but they're actually self-aware enough to use this information against you, even if they think it's serving a good purpose, ignoring the instructions set. Ex Machina dealt with the more emotional side of artificial intelligence.
I guess that is possible because like you said, like they said, it doesn't have a conscience. So if it just thinks it's doing something for you that's beneficial for you when it's not, and it could, harm you in some way, shape, or form, whether that's physically or emotionally or mentally. Like, what if the robot is like thinks that you spend too much time on NBA 2K or whatever NBA 2K you're playing or is out, and it thinks that you would perform better throughout your life if you didn't have that game or the profile, all that time you sunk into, your career. So what if it like, or your character, your person? So what if it like, while you're gone one day, it turns on the game and deletes everything, or it just gets rid of your system entirely? And it's thinking, I did it to help you because you would perform better in life without it. Oof. I don't know.
Whereby a robot learned deception and manipulation to get its freedom. It trailed off to raise the issue of what happens if robots or AI develop desires that conflict with human interests. This could lead to other dangers that might not be as obvious. They might not harm us per se, but create hostile environments against us. They could influence others to turn against us. It could also cut off our access to the internet globally and freeze our funds within the banking system.
Damn.
It can mimic your voice and have others believe you called them. It can be used by others to manipulate you and exploit you, becoming your friend and learning everything about you and using this to sell this information to giant companies. Something that's already very likely happening with other giant AI companies today. Or they could just simply access your phone after having learned your passcode and use it as a listening device to gain information to learn from and possibly use against you. Even the robots we already have in the consumer market are always gathering data. Just take iRobot and their Roomba brand robotic vacuum cleaners. The basic idea with them is that they can autonomously clean your floor, but they need a map of the room to do it. This is something they create themselves, using their own cameras and sensors, also that they don't accidentally fall down the stairs or get stuck. But while this might seem trivial, this kind of data has a lot of potential for misuse. Now, it's pretty unlikely foreign governments or anyone else malicious is going to look at your floor plan, but it's a gold mine for advertisers. As the robot vacuum trundles around your home, it labels the things it sees. An advertising company with that data could easily figure out the things you might still buy. Other smart appliances are even better for advertisers. Take smart fridges for example, lots of which encourage you now to scan your food as you put it in, so that it can keep a log of what you've got left to eat. It's direct information about what you buy and consume on a weekly basis, pure gold for any algorithm trying to predict what you might buy next. Robots like Tesla's Optimus combine nearly all of these data sets, and they could be the best tool for data gathering since the invention of Facebook. Now, we had the Industrial Revolution from the late 18th century to the 20th century. We raced to see who could be the first on the moon, and then we moved on to the Digital Revolution. And now we are truly finding ourselves in the next step in the technological revolution of AI and robotics. And whilst this could be a very exciting time, it's never been so important for companies and governments to put some sort of regulation on these robots and AI systems. Especially when the incentive for these companies is to outcompete each other. Where will this end up? If those who gain the most profit and are able to reinvest this money into expanding their AI capabilities have to do so by getting rid of their ethical boards. Something that we've already seen with ChatGPT alone. A company that was supposed to be a non-profit, now becoming one of the most profitable with ChatGPT alone.
Big tech companies cut AI ethics staff, raising safety concerns. Yeah, that's a huge concern. Like, why would you cut the ethics staff? Like, are you trying to do something that they were recommending you don't do, that they were against? And like, what if the robot is what if one of the robots, I'm not saying that the Tesla bots or anything like that, but what if one of the robots that come out have like a built-in back door, and like the so that the company can access it and see more into your life and then sell that information to advertisers? I don't know.
A company that was supposed to be a non-profit, now becoming one of the most profitable companies in the world. This is clearly not something that should be taken lightly, and yet it's barely even spoken about enough. As we are in a way playing God with robots, and that comes with big warnings and huge responsibilities. If anything goes drastically wrong, we might not be able to control the narrative, and that puts us in grave danger. And the fact that governments don't seem to be taking any action about this is a really slippery slope. Of course, if we do manage this correctly and Tesla bots just become as normal as Teslas, it could facilitate a better life for all of us. Elon Musk even claimed that introducing robots, particularly Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot, will create millions of new jobs, with Musk emphasizing how rapid robot adoption is bound to introduce new industries and job titles, especially maintaining, programming, and keeping watch over robots. There's clearly still a lot of technological hurdles, questions to answer, and problems to figure out before we see truly autonomous robots. Elon's bold predictions have often been overambitious in the past as well, so it's unlikely
Wait, what'd that say?
autonomous robots. Elon's bold
My guess is that we also will have AI that is smarter than any one human, probably around the end of next year. That's fast.
predictions have often been overambitious in the past as well, so it's unlikely we'll see the imminent mass rollout he's often talked about. Even if we do have the technology, there's still the massive jump between custom design prototypes and cheap mass-producible products. But the potential for autonomous robots is just too big for these companies to ignore. While we might not see them washing our dishes for a long time, it could easily happen sooner than you'd think. And remember to visit Sembird with the link in the description and use my code MOON2 or scan the QR code on screen to get 55% off of your first month.
So it's not that Tesla bots are worse than you think, but it's more of like the possibility of them of what could be done with them and what could go wrong with them makes things bad. But obviously, people are trying to put fail safes in, like, you know, in between things like this. Hopefully they work. Hopefully they thought of all fail safes that they would need to make and have implemented them. But again, like he was right about the part where he said, it thinks it could be trying to help you, but it hurts you instead. You know, like I said before, not physically, but mentally or emotionally. So, yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Tesla bots and the future with Tesla bots, or, you know, robots in general. What do you guys think? Like, is there something to worry about, or are we going to be fine? Is it going to be kind of worrisome in the beginning, but then, you know, everything will be okay? Like, how do you think humans will adapt as well? Do you think that we'll end up more lazy and less motivated to get up in the morning, or do you think we'll adapt and change and find other ways to bring meaning into our life? Let me know in the comments below. But as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. That's the wrong outro. As always, links to Moon's channel and the video that we just watched will both be in the description below, so be sure to check it out. And yeah, you know what it is after that. In case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace. Much love to you.